The Syrian civil war changed course on September 2015. By that time, the fighting was going on for 4.5 years. Assad was quickly losing ground. The regime only held to about 25% of the territory of Syria, and it was believed that within a short time it would collapse under the combined pressure from different opposition organizations and also from ISIS. What changed then was that Assad called his good friend Vladimir Putin and desperately asked for help. And Putin, for his reasons, much of them had to do with his battle with the West, mostly in Eastern Europe, decided to help. And by early September of 2015, he sent 2 squadrons of fighter planes to Syria, to Hamaim air base, which is on the northwest of Syria. All it took was these 2 squadrons, 50 planes altogether, to change the course of the war. Almost immediately, the Russians began deploying those planes and using them for massive bombardments, sometimes carpet bombings all over the place, in areas which were held by the opposition. By the end of 2016, the Russians helped the Assad regime defeat the rebels in Aleppo, Syria's second largest city at that time. And by late 2018, the regime regained control of about 70% of the country, including the Syrian side of the Golan Heights border, on Israel's border. So what led to the change in the war was, more than anything else, the Russian assistance and the Russian deployment of airplanes. On top of that, they also needed boots on the ground. The Iranians supplied those boots on the ground, mainly by sending Shiite militias from Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Iraq, which were financed by the Iranians, and helped Assad regain the territory and all kinds of ground battles with the opposition. Assad has already declared victory in the civil war. For him, the fact, for instance, that the United Emirates have decided that they're going to send their ambassador back to Damascus is a great victory. The fact that both Russia and in some ways even Turkey now recognize him as the winner in this war. The fact that the Americans are not invested in any way in toppling the regime. The fact that President Trump has decided to pull out what remained of the American troops in Syria. All these developments together mean that Assad has actually won the war. He doesn't control Syria completely. He only controls about 70% of the country, but most of the major towns and most of the population is under regime control.